right here, as this non-woody root turning into a woody root was growing, the lateral roots were going out on an angle this direction. If you look at this root here, you will see that it was originating from here and growing this way. See, that's coming out this direction. This root was growing this way, thus suggesting that this root was growing up from out beyond the root ball and growing back towards the trunk as a suicidal root to become a girdling root to cut off the liquid transport system. Why? That's a religious question. How does it happen? Planted too deep. Thank you. Now here you can also see that the wire basket is even injuring and interfering with the growth of this sprout, which is growing off of a woody root that was planted too deep, I believe. And as it grows, this here and this here is the wire basket. And see right here, this woody root being wounded by this wire basket as it grows. Wire baskets are bad. They may be good for transporting a ball and for leaving trees sit around for endless periods of time in a nursery. But we use the wire basket where we get trees. The trees are dug with a spade, which crushes woody roots, placed in a basket, and then delivered. Then we deliver it. And when we get it to the site, we remove the burlap, the wire basket, establish where the roots are coming off the trunk, like right here. And that's the depth we plant the trees at. And that's that. Okay. To remove, as a complimentary treatment while I'm here, this gentleman was nice enough to allow me to take a closer look at this tree. I'm going to cut this wire from this wire basket so it doesn't have the capacity to injure this woody root as it grows. You know, no, this tree's too deep. No, the tree won't die. It would be wonderful if trees died when they were mistreated. That way we would have a lot less mistreated trees. So, but I want to cut this wire basket off right here, if I can, without getting out my big, oh, there we go. Cut this off here. See? See? It'd take a long time, let me see. It would take a long time for this steel to break down and not injure tree growth, especially with a fast-growing tree like a pear, Bradford pear, or the associate. Let me get this wire basket off of here, piece here, because it's just going to be doing the same thing down lower too. So wire baskets, they're not good for, it's just like wrapping the trunk of a tree. I mean, that's great for transporting the tree, but it's not so good for the tree once it's planted, because behind this young outer bark of these young trees is a green cortex, like a leaf enveloping the tree that can photosynthesize when conditions are favorable. And when we wrap the tree, it blocks that sunlight energy from the cortex. It's like you put your boat battery on charge, trickle charge over the winter. Same idea. When there's no leaves on this tree in the winter, and the temperature goes above 40 degrees Fahrenheit, photosynthesis will begin. With no leaves on the trees, they ask, how can you exchange gases with no leaves on the trees? Well, let me see what I can show you here. Let me see. They're called lenticular spots. You see these little white spots here? They're called lenticels. They're in the book Modern Arboriculture. Look up lenticels. They're called lenticular spots. They are for exchanging gases. They are for exchanging gases. Right there. Right there. They are for exchanging gases when there's no leaves on the tree. So that's about that. So we've removed the wire from around the sprout and around the one woody root that we did find. So, a little something. Thank you. Now also, underneath that huge pile of mulch, we had roots growing up into the mulch. Now when roots grow up into the mulch, that's too much mulch, because during a couple consecutive dry days, this mulch will dry out and these roots will die. But look at the quality of the woody roots that are growing out from the tree. You can see the ends are broken and decayed. There's no new root growth coming out. If they were properly pruned, they just stopped growing there and they're decayed.